This is a walkthrough of how to complete the online exhibitor contract for the Northwest Trend Show. Open an internet browser and visit www.northwesttrendshow.com. It's www.nwtrendshow.com. Then you're going to visit exhibitors, roll over exhibitors, and click on exhibitor registration. And it takes you into the exhibitor page. Read through all of the information here, including your deadlines for the application, the show schedule, and the show rules and regulations. And then you're going to come to the online contract. This is the exhibitor information section. When you're filling out this form, please use upper and lowercase throughout the form, not all caps. And the first thing that it's asking is your exhibitor name. This is the person's name who will be showing. So enter your first and last name. And you can either tab to get to the next cell or click in the next cell. And the next question is exhibitor company name. This is the company name of the person that will be showing, not one of your line names, the actual company name of the person who will be showing. So if you use your name, then you would just type your name again here. So I would say Paula Saunders Showroom if I didn't have a company name. And I'm going to tab to the next cell. Another tip is to start from the top and work your way down. Don't jump through the form because some questions change depending on the answer that you've given in an earlier question. So make sure you go from top to bottom in the form. And so I'm going to put the address here. And for the phone number, if you just type the numbers, it's going to automatically format it for you properly. You don't have to use any punctuation. Email address. And I just wanted to kind of show you what happens here. If the email has to be formatted properly. If it's not formatted properly, it's going to give you an error message like what you see here. What I did is I left off the .com. So you see when it's formatted properly, you don't get that big red box. Another thing I wanted to point out here is you'll notice that there is a red star beside these fields. Anything with a red star is a required field. Anything that does not have a red star is not required. So you can include it or you can leave it blank. Okay, so now we're moving to the next section. This is listings and classifications. Category. Choose the primary category most of your lines represent. So you'll notice this has an arrow here. This is a drop-down menu. And so if you click on, anywhere in that box, you'll see the other options for the categories. We've got Missy, Contemporary, Accessories, Shoes, Men's, and Children's. I'm going to make my category Contemporary and enter line number 1 name. These fields are going to be required because you have to have at least one line that you represent for the booth. And so I'm going to make my first line Peppery. And the line description is printed tops and pants. And the categories that it applies to, you can check as many categories that it actually does apply to. So mine's going to be junior, could be contemporary, and it's activewear. It's also made in the USA. Line number 2 space is not required. No other lines are required. So if you have one line, then you would just continue through the form and leave all of these spaces blank. I'm going to give myself one more line. And this line is fun and flirty tops. Categories that it applies to are junior and made in the USA. Or it may just be just junior. You can have just one if that's all that applies. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll down. I did want to point out here, if you have more than 5 lines, once you've entered your 5th line name, you'll notice that additional spaces appear, so you can enter additional lines. I only have 2, so I'm going to delete that. Okay. Show specials. Many exhibitors offer incentives for buyers that leave orders during the show, like special terms, dating, and free shipping. And so if you have any incentives, you would enter those market specials here. And make sure that you include the line name that it applies to. So I'm going to say peppery, let's see, and that's going to be free shipping for orders left at the show. And just leave the additional ones blank if you have no additional specials. Show fees. If you're a member already, then you keep this checked. If you're a non-member, then you check the non-member space, and it gives you all the details that you need to either become a member now or join after your 2nd show. I'm going to go ahead and join now. If I wanted to join after the 2nd show, then I would click this box. I'm going to say I'm in, add the $165 fee. You'll also notice that the show fee for non-members is $425 instead of the member on file fee of $325. Associate fee. Will you have any associates at the show? Associates are employed by the sales rep. They are $50 each. And so I'm going to say yes. When I click yes, additional questions show, and it says how many associates will attend. I'm going to have 2 additional associates, and so that's going to be $100. The associate names include the associate full name separated by a comma. So I'm going to click in the space here, delete the placeholder text, and type the associate names separated by a comma. Okay. Booth size. This is another one of those drop-down menus, and so if you click here, you'll see the different options for your booths: 10 by 10, 10 by 15, 10 by 20, 10 by 25, 10 by 30, and 10 by 40. So I'm going to do a 10 by 25. And the next area is going to be equipment. I need 4 tables, and I'm going to have 10 chairs, 2 rolling racks, and 2 grid walls. Do you have a show sign? Exhibitor signs are ordered through the Northwest Trend Show. No other signs can be used at the show. So I'm going to say I need one since I am a new member, and I just want one at $35. And for hot sellers or promotional displays, you can do 3 per exhibitor. And so I'm going to have 2 hanging body forms and 1 pedestal display. Overnight parking is $20 per night, and I'm going to be there for 2 nights, so I'm going to go ahead and prepay and get my parking done ahead of time. The Seattle business license is required for anyone exhibiting in the show, And so if you say you've got one, then it's going to ask you to enter your Seattle business license number here, and that is a required field. If you do not have a Seattle business license, click here and say I need it, and it'll get prepared for you at a $45 fee. Last question is the application guidelines. You check the box saying I agree to the strictly enforced show rules and regulations. If you would like to read those, you click here and it brings up the show rules and regulations for your review. Okay, so now I'm just going to check and make sure that everything is entered properly into the form. And this is a summary of my purchases. So now if I'm ready to go ahead and complete the contract, I would click complete contract. If I want to save for later, like say I need to pay for it at a later date, then I would click save for later here. And when you click save for later, it's going to send a link, a copy of this link to your email. It's always best to copy and paste it into some place that you'll remember as well. So I'm highlighting that link. And again, this is your specific link. No one else will have this link because it's your information as you've entered it into the form. And on a Mac, you're going to do Command C to copy it, and then open a notepad, Word document, email to yourself, just somewhere where you'll remember it, and click Command V to paste this link there. On a PC, the commands are Control C for copy and then Control V for paste. So I'm just gonna walk through this like I've come back to the computer and I'm ready to complete my purchase. Open a new internet browser, click in the space for the URL and Command V to type the URL into that space, and it brings up my completed form here. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and click complete contract. And it brings up my full shopping cart. I'm going to click purchase, and it brings me to the checkout page. And so I'm going to enter my information, all of my billing information. The email address is automatically populated there. That is the one thing that cannot be changed from what you have on the initial form. And I'm going to enter my full name here as it is on my card. And then enter my credit card information. And the expiration date is going to be a 2-digit month and 2-digit year. Your CVV is 3 digits for MasterCard, Visa, or Discover, and 4 digits for American Express. And so I'm going to be a MasterCard or Visa, and then your billing zip code is entered here. And when you click place order, it completes the credit card processing of your order for the total. And that is how you complete the Northwest Trends Show online exhibitor contract.